What's up, everybody? Hanging out here on a Wednesday afternoon, just sort of enjoying here in Durham, North Carolina. It's a beautiful sunny day. The weather's really nice. Just wish there was somewhere to go. Anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. I know these are super crazy times for everybody, and I know there's just a lot going on. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Thanks for hanging out with us on an afternoon. We are going to be doing some comparison of octave pedals today. It's a super common pedal for a violinist to have on their pedal board, is especially that sub-octave, is being able to take this, this violin and make it sound like a cello, or just be able to make things a little more beefier, trying to get bigger and stronger. Can't get bigger and stronger. All the gyms are closed. It's horrible. I hate it. Anyway, I do want to let you know that one of the things that we're doing to try to help out, we're not like mega corporation. We can't be tossing billions of dollars in the economy. But one thing we can do, we got a little sale going for you guys, and it's on our website right now. All the stuff that's marked green is 5% off, blue is 10% off, red is 15% off. So when you come to our site, if I remember right, the prices that it's showing on the screen when you go look at a certain violin, that's regular price. And when you go to put it in your cart, I think it shows you the discounted price. So the sale price would be discounted off of what you see on your screen. So I hope that clears that up. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this little screen right here. Bye-bye, screen. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back to just me for a second. Yeah, so today we're going to be doing some comparison of some octave pedals. Let me grab my trusty dusty Viper here. This is my old Viper. I just put some new strings on it the other day. I'm testing out some new strings. Hopefully there'll be some news for you guys soon on whether I like these strings or not. I think I need a little more time on them to be sure, but my first impression is that muy buenos. All right, so yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Wait, wrong button. Right button. There we go. Woo! All right, so here's our octave pedal shootout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for you all the audio you're hearing me through a microphone that you can't see, but it's right here. Can you hear me now? All right, so there's the microphone you're hearing me from. And then off to my left is a Fishman Loudbox Mini or Artist. You should be hearing a little bit of that maybe through the microphone, but most of what you hear is a direct sound. Okay, so that's that sound. I'm going to go ahead and record some stuff into a looper, and I'll be able to run that looper, and you'll be able to hear each of the three pedals. Got the three pedals down here. And what I'll do is I'll play into the looper, and then we can just listen to that phrase through each of the octave pedals. The first one you see on this one here is the Electro-Harmonix Pitchfork. And then we have the Digitech Drop and the Electro-Harmonix POG. And we'll be talking about some of the differences between those, but mostly we're going to be listening to the differences in the octave down sound for those, because I think that's probably the most common use of these for violinists. At least that's what I hear from you guys, is what the most common things. So first thing we're going to do is just some long, slow tones, and we're going to start low and work our way up so you can hear all of this. So playing and looping. All right, that's the pitchfork here. All right, now we'll hear the drop. wish I'd been more decisive. That was quite the performance there, Matt. That's really good. All right, so the next thing I want to do is want to do some pits for you guys. You'll be able to hear the pits. I don't know if you can hear. I can definitely hear that there's a very distinct difference in tonality between each of these pedals. Okay, so we can talk about features and all that stuff in a little bit, but right now I really want to sort of listen to the differences in tonality between these things and how they handle different things. So that was some long, slow stuff. We're going to do some pits now. Pitchfork. This is the drop now. All right, here's the POG. All right, yeah, so yeah, I definitely hear some differences in tonality between those, and I do hear a little bit different how they handle pits versus arco. The next thing I want to go through, we did some long, slow stuff. Let's see how they can keep up. Let's see if I can get a little better performance this time for you guys too. The pitchfork, here's the drop. Here's the POG. So to me, it sounds like they all track pretty well. You know, as we're ripping through those notes pretty fast, none of them had any trouble keeping up. So that's good. You don't want your octaver to be slower than you. That would be bad. Let's try some double stops. What do you guys think? Here we go. Pitchfork, here's the drop. Here's the POG. attack on the pitchfork. Okay, here's the drop. All right, yeah, they're definitely different. Let's do one more little style, and then we're going to talk about a couple things. Let's see how these things react to the chop. Yeah, let's listen to Auto-Tune Bach again. That'd be great. Yeah, let's chop. Sorry. All right. Yeah, man, there's always going to be one person that wishes I had something that I don't have. There's 100 of these pedals out here, but these are the three that I see most commonly, honestly. I think we do carry the Boss Harmonist, but I think we're sold out right now. And that's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes you got them all, sometimes you don't. But these are the three most common. I definitely see, on guitar player pedal boards, I definitely see the Pitchfork and the Drop a lot. And we'll talk about that. So those are some of the styles. I guess we'll go through and just, I'll just maybe play a variety of stuff here for a second. And we'll listen to them all again. Some different styles here. So here's the Pitchfork. Here's the Drop. So that's all that. Those are those pedals. And that is sort of just trying to run them through their paces a little bit. We can go back and play with those again a little bit. But let's do this. I'm going to sort of bend down and talk about these pedals a little bit. And you're going to see me disappear. I'm going to disappear from right here. Bye-bye, everybody. Sorry. All right. So the pitchfork itself, the cool thing about that is that you have the ability to do up and down. So let's run this. So that's an octave up. This is what this switch does. And if you put it in the middle, it's both. And then it's got a latch feature too that you can sort of watch this. So that's kind of a cool thing about that. Let's stop that. So one of the cool things about the pitchfork is that it does allow me to do that up and down, the momentary, the latch, all that kind of stuff. The other thing, we can work in a blend too. So let's play with that blend a little bit. I'm gonna disappear. Sorry. Okay, so that's kind of a cool feature. The other thing we can do is we can do more than one octave. What? Let's play with this. This is 2 octaves down. And get ready to protect your little computer speakers. Here we go to 3. Okay, that was fun, right? 3 octaves down, woo woo. All right, so you better have your subs turned on with that. The other thing is not just octaves, it's also got some pitch shifting in there. Say you're playing at your church and they're like, you do your rehearsal on Wednesday night and the singer's voice is feeling good. Yeah, let's play this in A. Sweet, got everything worked out in A. You come in Sunday morning, he's like, yeah, the thing is I was up all night with my kids. I can't sing it in A. Just capo down 1 and let's do it in A flat. You're like, bro, we're not friends anymore. If you're a professional player and you're comfortable in all 12 keys, well, God bless you. But not everybody is in that situation. There are people for whom A flat ain't getting it. Maybe if you've practiced the parts that you're going to play in A flat might be a bit of a gamble for you. So let's see what happens here if we want to go down a half a step. So we rotate this down. This actually goes to D tune, which is what the D is. Now that was a minor second, we go down a major second. Minor third. That's a major third, I'm sorry. Perfect fourth. major sixth, minor seventh, and then an octave. Okay? So that allows you to do that. And of course, if you flip the other switch, I mean, we're here, we might as well do it, right? You can actually go up all those too. If you're really bored, you can blend them. All right. That is the Pitchfork. I neglected to look up what this thing costs, but they're not that expensive. You can go to our website, electricviolinshop.com, and pull them up. They're a couple of $100 at the most. These are not expensive pedals. Yeah, for some reason I normally do this, and I would have come up with a page that had a little picture of it on there, had the price, and I forgot. I'm sorry, but it's I'll put it in the comments section at the end here. These are not expensive pedals, not at all. Couple of $100. So here is the drop pedal. The drop pedal does not have all of that functionality. And of course the Pitchfork, this would be fun. If you want to really hack off somebody, why not? Yeah, you can blend them in there, right? I'm not sure why you would do that, but you can. Okay? So, yes, that is the Pitchfork. The next one, the Digitech Drop, is a super, super popular pedal for guitar players for the same reason that capos are really popular with guitar players. It's not considered cheating for a guitar player, so all you purists, you can yell cheating all you want. But, not everybody's a professional violinist. Not everybody practices in F sharp every day, okay? Sometimes there are people that are, they're a hairdresser Monday through Friday, and they want to play with their friends Friday night, Saturday night, and they're playing with a band that uses a lot of capos, and they're like, yeah, screw that. I'm not learning how to play in G sharp. You know what? This is about having fun and sounding good. So if you want to buy a pedal to have fun and sound good, you have my permission. You do what you want to do, okay? The drop pedal is basically the opposite of a capo. It can do most of what the Pitchfork can do in all that detuning down. It just can't go the other way up, okay? So let's, and then it also has the latching thing. So let's turn this thing. So this is down a half a step. There's original, down a half a step. I actually do a fair amount of work with bands that detune. I do a fair amount of work with a band that plays, most of their guitars are tuned in E flat, and then they'll throw capo 1 for about half of their songs, and then they'll take the capo off for the other half of the songs. And it's because it's not uncommon for bands to detune. Zach Brown Band is one of the most famous bands that pretty much always all their songs are down a half a step. So they're playing in D flat and A flat and G flat and C flat or B. So they're playing all these regular keys. So you can either tune the instrument down a half a step, which is fine, or you can buy a drop pedal, and then you don't have to retune your instrument, and you can play it that way and just use the drop pedal. So here's down here's standard tuning. And then down a half step. So that's just, if you see the lights on there, these lights, each one of those is a half a step. So the cool thing about that 7 half steps is a fifth. It's a perfect fifth. So if you want to turn your 4-string violin into a 4-string viola, pow! One button. Whoo! So there you go. All right. So that's the story on the drop pedal. There's no blend. There's none of that stuff. It's a reverse capo is what it is. If that's what you want and that's what you need, then that's dope. It does all that stuff. Let's go over to the POG and talk about the POG for a second. The POG allows you to pass your dry signal. You can blend in this is the dry signal here. It's all the way down right now. But you can pass the dry signal, you can pass an octave up and an octave down. Here's your sub octave. Okay, that's turned down, so everything's down, nothing's coming through. Here's my dry signal. Here's the octave up. Loud. You almost get like an organy sound when you run the octaves all together like that. The sub octave, the high octave. You can just run both of those and leave your octave out. That's kind of dope too. But because they're on dials, you have an infinite ability to blend these things back and forth. Okay, so that's the POG. Let me adjust this back down, and I will say too that the POG seems to. When I run the dial all the way open, there's actually a little bit of gain there. Okay, so I could, I guess, technically use the POG as a boost. Let's try that. We got nothing better to do. Let's try it. Let's turn that down, all this down. Turn this all the way up. All right, and turn it off. Okay, run the loop. So much for that idea. Hey, thank you, Chris. Chris, give me some prices on here. The Pitchfork, this one with my lovely shoes here. My daughter picked out these shoelaces, by the way. How awesome are those? That one is $174.40. I could put all this on the screen, but you'd have to watch me type, and that's just boring. The Drop is $214.99. And the POG is $213.80. So yeah, they're all about $200. Like I said, not expensive pedals. So yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you, Chris, with his handy little piece of. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's so nice. Now we have a visual aid. That's good, man. He used a whole piece of cardboard and a Sharpie for that. That was cool. So. My daughter does have good taste in a lot of things, including laces. Her, man, every day it's a different outfit. She's 9 years old, and her sense of style is something. So yeah, that's what's going on with those prices. Yes. So let's throw some comments on here. Let's come back to here. There we go. Hey everybody. Let's see. Is that showing up on your screen? It's not showing up on mine. Well, it was a good thought. Let's try this. Does that one come up? Nope. Well, it was a good thought. I wanted to throw some comments on there. Obviously, there's something crazy happening with, let's try this. I'm going to actually try and see what happens. I think I know what happened. I think I can fix it. Ha-ha! All right, so now let's try this. We got fixage. All this stuff that's so common for guitarists. I dated one for years. I'm so sorry. That you wouldn't even think of for violinists. Very true. Hey, Timothy's here. What's up, man? The drop is worth every penny, even for just a half step down. Absolutely. Allison had to play in C sharp once on the spot. Very true. Let's actually do this. Let me fix this for you. Sorry. Woo, there we go. Took about 3 verses to figure out there's no open strings. It is true. There are no open strings in C sharp. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, what else is going on? And it is all about the singer. I hate to tell you, but it is definitely all about the singer. And I mostly say that because I'm a singer. And somebody's amused by me. Awesome. I like it when people are amused by me. So that's what's going on with octave pedals. I hope you guys dig that. Let's see if we need to talk any more about any of these things. Are there any more questions about these pedals? Anybody? Oh, yeah. You know what? Dan Emmett's here, and he did have a request. We got them all turned on. All 3 together. Oh. That was glorious. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for asking. Let's see. We have another. Here's another comment here. What do we go? Pitchfork is basically the POG, but much more versatile. Yeah. I choose any day. Yeah, precise control, and that's the thing. It's what exactly do you need? Nobody can say that this is the best one or that's the best one. They're all pretty good. They're just different, right? The drop can do some fun stuff. True. And I think the Pitchfork has an expression pedal input. Yes, it does. It does have an expression pedal input. So, yes, all of these things. You have a question, Jason Owen, shoot. Whatever your question is, shoot. Type it out. Go fast. Where should the pedal in a chain? Excellent question. Where should the pedal go in a chain? After the reverb? Oh boy, I wouldn't. When I do my pitch shifting, I do it early in the chain. Probably first. That's where I put mine. There may be some other people in here. Timothy is one of those guys who plays with a lot of this kind of stuff. He may have some input for you. Now I can play fiddle for death kick. Yes. I've got a 6-string. I can get pretty low anyway, but gosh, 3 more octaves. Oh, that's some funness. I'm using a Golden Tasman violin. Oh, yes. So that is one of the things that we need to talk about. So here's the thing. When I'm playing with a solid body, and when you hear the looper, you're not hearing my instrument, because my instrument is not, I'm not playing it right now. You're hearing the looper. I played it 10 minutes ago, but you're not hearing it at all. If you're using an acoustic electric, boy, have you got yourself a mess, especially if you're going to do some pitch shifting other than just an octave. So if you're trying to play an acoustic electric and you want to do something other than octaves, you're out of luck, because you can hear the uncorrected pitch under your ear. I don't care how loud the band is. You can hear it at least a little. And So yeah, you're going to hear it at least a little. And if you're trying to tune down a half a step or something, man, that's going to be a hot garbage. There's some pedals that impact the tone more than negatively. Yeah, I don't really know what that means. Concerned about tone. How's the through tone? I mean, oh, the through tone as far as like, are we talking about like pure bypass? Yeah, these are all true bypass pedals. These are yes, these are all listed as true bypass pedals, and I don't have any issue with running these things bypassed, so your tone just runs right through them. Yeah, that's no big thing. Do you suggest putting it through the effects loop in a venue DI? Well, yeah, I would. I would put it after the preamp, which is where it's going to be in the effects loop. So what will happen, it'll hit, yeah, when it's bypassed, these are true bypass pedals. So what true bypass means is, in theory, when the pedal is bypassed, there's no effect on your tone at all. It's just like traveling through a cable. Does a cable affect your tone? Sure. I mean, everything affects your tone. The friggin' temperature affects your tone. But if we're talking about in any significant way, no. The pedal, in theory, does not color your tone at all when it's bypassed. So, yeah, Michael, here's Michael's question. People like the comment on the screen. Do you suggest putting it through the effects loop? Yeah, I think probably. I don't run a preamp in my rig because I run wireless, and a preamp sort of would... The wireless sort of negates any of the benefit that I would get from an impedance standpoint. If you're using your venue DI for an impedance reason, the reason is you're running a cable from the instrument to the venue, and you're using the impedance matching of the venue to do what impedance matches do, and there's a whole nother live stream about that. Yeah, I would put it in the effects loop, but I would put it very, very, very early. Normally, okay, so here's the other cool thing about pedals is that there's no wrong answer. You can put it at the very end of your chain if you want. It's going to sound different. But if that gives you a sound that you like, do it, man. There's no rule against that. If you want to pitch shift your reverb down, I wouldn't do it generally because I have picked a reverb that I like. Yeah, man, if you want, just understand that everything that's upstream of that pedal, all your overtones, undertones, everything is going to be shifted down. So if you're running IRs, you got to kind of think about that. I run my pitch shifting before any of my IRs because the IRs sound like I want them to sound. I don't want to pitch shift any of the overtones from that. And I just noticed my cookout cup's in the frame. Cookout, call me. Thank you. If you guys don't have Cookout in your town, I'm so sorry. It's one of the greatest fast food joints around. So Jason Owens, I would probably put it after the compressor and before effects. I don't run any compression normally. But yeah, I guess not a bad idea. Yeah, lots of great comments here. If you guys are reading through the comments, there's a lot of really experienced players here that are offering some feedback, and that is super helpful. Thank you, guys. I do want to say, I want to remind you guys while I'm here, not to forget our Classical to Radical series that we've got. It's on our YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/electric violin shop. There are tons and tons of resources here, not just live streams like you see on the screen right now. We actually do produce videos and stuff too. But Classical to Radical was a series that we did that talks about a ton of different things that experienced players, like say you're a music school grad or something, you're an experienced violinist, but you don't know how to plug stuff in, and you're a music school guy. You're new to all this plugged in stuff. These videos are here for you. I will also plug our Instagram page. If you go to Instagram, we share different stuff on Instagram than we do on YouTube, than we do on Facebook. So subscribing or following us in all those different platforms is going to get you different stuff. Okay. So what is the question? What's the difference in sound between Barkus Berry and an electric violin? Yeah, good question. So a Barkus Berry is an acoustic electric. So you're going to hear the instrument under your ear. It functions as an acoustic violin. This Viper right now, I do have a mic in the room, which is why you can hear me talk. But I unplugged the violin. There's nothing coming out of the jack here. This is what an electric violin sounds like. They're really quiet, right? It's way quieter than me talking. So 99.99999% of what your audience hears, functionally 100% of what anybody in the audience hears, is what's coming out of the speaker, and that can be a processed sound. If you have an acoustic electric violin, then depending on how big your audience is, if you're playing Madison Square Garden, please don't play Madison Square Garden with a Barkus Berry. But if you're playing Madison Square Garden, then functionally most of the people in the room are only hearing the electric sound, the processed sound coming out of your pickup. But you on stage can hear what's under your ear, at least a little. If you're playing a coffee house, you're playing in a small church, you're playing wherever, people are going to hear the sound that the instrument makes, and they're going to hear the sound that's coming out of the speaker. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing any processing. Yeah, the Barkus Berry is definitely, Barkus Berry back in the day used to make some really high-end, I would say really high-end, at least decently high-end, pro-level acoustic electric violins. Right now, Barkus Berry is pretty much an entry-level instrument. It's, it's very, very affordable. They're one of the cheapest instruments that we carry, and you get what you pay for. So if your budget is $500 and some, and that's all you got, I get it. I'm a musician. Then you can get a Barkus Berry, right? And if that's all you got, then spend it and do the best you can. You can definitely play Madison Square Garden with a Golden Tasman. Azima Ramsey is a good friend of mine. She plays for Beyonce and Clean Bandit and Stevie Wonder. She's got a Golden Tasman, and she gets really, really good feedback from her engineers saying, that is an amazing sounding violin. Holy crap, where'd you get that? That's the best acoustic electric sound we have ever engineered. Okay. Also, outstanding acoustic electric violins, the Realist RVPE series. Kishibashi just bought one of those. And I don't know if you follow Kishibashi or not. If you don't, you should. Very much a tone freak. They sound fantastic. The Wood Violins Concert Deluxe, great sounding violins. Really like those a lot. The other acoustic electrics we carry, the Glassers, the carbon fiber ones, I own 3 of them. I really like those violins. Some of those are on huge stages. Kane Brown's fiddle player has one. Ross Holmes, who plays for the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, he has one. Who else has got? Brian King Joseph played on America's Got Talent. He's got one. D Sharp, the guy, the YouTube star, he's got one. Some really, really fantastic players are playing Glassers. Joe Shackelford is playing one. We've got a number of really good acoustic electrics, and we'll do a live stream on those soon, where with the new setup that we got here, so you can hear the sound direct and you can hear the mic sound in the room. It's a really good idea. We should do that soon. If you guys had any more questions about these Octave pedals, I'm happy to answer those, but just a couple minutes and we're going to log off. Tell you guys to go stay the heck away from people. Don't breathe on anybody. You guys are doing great, by the way. I think the social distancing that everybody's doing, musicians more than anybody are really sacrificing during this time. We can't do the things that we were born to do because what we were born to do was literally to stand in a room full of people that are breathing on each other. And it's hard. Right now, we can't do that. And musicians are kind of taking one on the chin from an income standpoint, from an expression standpoint. But we're all doing the right thing. Everybody's, we're staying in and we're letting people live because it's really hard to make money off of people, and it's hard to entertain people if they're dead. So, yeah, it's hard, and all this stuff is really difficult, and my heart goes out to everybody. Um, but hey, let's keep doing the right thing, and hopefully this thing can be over. We'll be able to salvage a little bit of our summer anyway, and get back to doing what we love to do. But thank you guys so much for continuing to support Electric Violin Shop. We're still shipping violins out of here. Obviously, nobody's allowed into the shop for social distancing reason, but we are fulfilling orders on the internet, shipping all these things out to you guys. I know a lot of people are stuck in their houses, and it's a great time to be able to practice and hang out. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here, Jason. That was really cool that you showed up. Yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time. Okay. So unless there's any other questions, if there are, we'll try to dump them in the comments section, but I hope you guys enjoyed sort of an apples to apples comparison of these octave pedals. Whichever one has the set that you need the best, then just buy that one. You know, there's some pretty cool pedals here. Let's look at these things again. You know, the POG, the Drop, the Pitchfork, each one a little bit different. They each sound a little bit different. We'll sort of cycle through these again, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, here's... Actually did just have a thought. I want to cycle through these again, and this is sort of important to me because I was remembered I had taken a couple of these out. I took a Pitchfork out and I took a Drop out when I was playing with this band, and I was noticing that they do color my tone a little bit differently. So I want you to be able to hear the unshifted tone. We'll sort of go back and forth between the unshifted tone and the shifted tone. We'll sort of go back and forth so you can hear sort of a little more how they affect your sound. Yeah, so each person is going to hear that stuff a little differently. I tend to agree with you, Dan. I think the Drop does seem to color the direct tone the least. You know what? For funsies, we're here. Let's just do a half step down comparison, just for fun, right? So here's the minor second. All right. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. I feel like the drop sort of colors the tone the least. But honestly, the way the pitchfork colors the tone doesn't make me mad. It darkens it up a little bit. If you like having a little bit darker tone, especially when you pitch shifted it, I'm not going to say that's bad. If it were to color your tone and make it sound like, that'd be bad. I tend to try to do my coloration in other places, but yeah, I think the pitchfork does darken the tone up a little bit when it drops it. I mean, at least it's changing it in the right direction, right? So yeah, that's just a thought for you. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. You guys be safe.